Hi, it's Andy Sykes from Garrett Churchill. We're here taking a look at a planting job recently completed in Glenside with a partial remake of the front yard, not a full remake. The foundation planting that you can see off in the distance here was already here. We did enhance it a little bit with some perennials. What was previously here were two very large dogwoods on either side of this front walk, and a very large yew hedge that was probably about 8 feet wide that hung out over the sidewalk a little bit. So we've been maintaining this property for a number of years, and one of the reasons that we replaced the front landscape here partially was that the two dogwood trees that were kind of anchoring everything started to die off. And that was the key to kind of move forward with the rest of the project. They were still looking for some privacy or separation from the sidewalk, so we added this hedge back in, and to accommodate trying to get a larger tree back in here, we chose this cherry, which will be beautiful in the spring. So we've tried to incorporate a number of different plantings in here that'll give us interest throughout the course of the growing season. Over here we have a hellebore, which is an evergreen style or evergreen type of perennial. It'll bloom very early in the season. We'll maintain its leaves through the worst part of the winter. We've got an aster next, and you can kind of see the fading purple flowers on it. The aster flowers about the same time as mums do. It's a much better garden plant to have in your garden than a mum, since it's a perennial and it'll come back year after year. We've got some salvia in here, which will be beautiful in the summer with blue flower spikes. Nandina Harbor Dwarf over here, which you can kind of see is starting to show some of its fall color. It's very fine in texture in contrast to the salvia and some of the other plants that we've installed here and the Japanese holly hedge. So we've got color contrast as well as flowers going on throughout the course of the year. We've got a nice yarrow here, which has these beautiful pale yellow flowers. This will bloom on and off throughout the course of the season. We've got some ornamental grasses back in there to give some height and texture. Some rudbeckia or black-eyed Susan. Smaller Pennisetum Hamlin in the foreground here. And this is one of my favorites here. It's witch hazel. Starting to show its fall color now, but that'll bloom in February. Sometimes it blooms when there's snow on it. It's quite beautiful and a nice centerpiece for the front yard. We've got some coneflower in the background over here. Nice tall purple flowers, pink flowers. Some geranium in the foreground again with bluish purple flowers and an aster. We've also got these winterberry hollies in here, which when the leaves start to fall off in a little while, you'll still have the berries left on the stems. Great plant for winter interest. So behind me over here we have the male version of the winterberry holly, which helps make the females flower and fruit during the course of the season. We've got a beautiful oak leaf hydrangea here, which will give us nice conical shaped flowers in the spring, and it gets a beautiful mahogany fall color to it. Got a little Russian sage, nice texture, and the bluish or the grayish green foliage against the pale blue flowers will be real nice during the growing season, and it'll get it to be a good size. The larger, more mature plants were already here, so we've worked around them trying to create this kind of symmetrical teardrop in the center of the lawn. Again, with some additional coneflower, you'll notice there's repetition from side to side. Geranium. We've got a peony here, which will give us beautiful pink flowers in the spring. Some more of the Pennisetum Hamlin fountain grass, salvia, and some daylilies. So we've, again, incorporated a number of different plants that'll give us blooms throughout the course of the season. Some of these perennials are rebloomers, and we'll get color out of them more than one time during the season. So for further information, or if you're interested in the fall planting project, give us a call.